Yo guys, if you want to just skip right to the time to kill chart, go to about 30-35 seconds. I'll have a timestamp in the description. Yo guys, it's Ryan here. This is going to be my video on the M4A1 and why I think it's just as good as the Kilo and Grau at long range and why I think you should maybe be using it. You know, I'm going to leave that to decide for yourself. I'm going to go over its pros and cons and everything I think wrong with it and everything right with it. This first clip I think showcases its just overall strength here and, you know, the mobility that comes behind it. Hope you guys like this video. I'm going to have another coaching video this week. Hope you guys enjoy it. I thank you guys. Peace. All right, let's get into this chart. I'm going to be comparing the M4, Kilo, and Grau on the first graph. And then after that, I'm going to compare the AMAX. The purple is going to be the M4, orange is going to be the Kilo, and the light blue is going to be the Grau. Now, as you can see, at the utmost long ranges, the M4 is better. In the middle section, the Kilo is better. And on this next graph, it's going to pull up the AMAX. I think that's going to be important because the AMAX is better than all of these, but it has slightly higher recoil and it's a little bit harder to hit your long range shots than compared to these other two, or other three. But the M4 has the main bonus of being the most versatile between the Kilo, Grau, and the M4, because the M4 is good at close range but not great. It's going to lose to a lot of SMGs, but if you get the first shot and you're hitting some headshots, it has a chance. And especially compared to the Grau and Kilo, up close it really is good. Now the AMAX is just superior though in the mid-range and in the short range compared to all of those guns. But as I said, has a little bit harder recoil, and the M4 is in a similar situation compared to the Kilo and Grau because it does have a little bit more recoil. But I'm sure you guys can all attest to this. It's not that bad, and especially after the DMR meta and the FFAR and the AMAX and everything, it really feels manageable, especially at long ranges. There's multiple times where it's not that hard to get many kills, to just clean up multiple people from good ranges away that you would use the Kilo and Grau at. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to beat snipers at long range and blah, 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 but if you were using the Kilo before the DMR came out and before they nerfed it, then I would try this gun. Is it as easy to control though as the Kilo and Grau? No. But look at this clip. The damage is so good on it in certain areas. And this gun, you guys have probably used it at some point or another because of how meta it was in the overall spectrum of Warzone in the beginning. You know, the HDR with thermal and an M4 was super common. Then the MP5 came about and the Grau and blah, blah, blah. So many different metas. But the M4, I'm telling you now, still has a place. I feel after the Kilo nerf, after the DMR being nerfed, after everything, even with the rise of the M16 and AUGs and the tactical rifles, I think the M4 needs another look. Now, there's a couple LMGs in Cold War I actually think are getting underlooked, particularly the RPD. The Stoner's getting a good bit of attention, but I think the RPD is good. But the one thing that I think the M4 has is solid mobility, and as I said, the ability to win in close range scenarios if you get the first shot, if you're ready. If you're pre-aimed, if you're ready for someone coming around the corner, you're aimed at chest level, get a couple headshots, you can win the gunfight. That can be hard with the Kilo and Grau. It's not impossible, but it's hard. An MP5, an AS-Val, FFAR, MAC-10, they can all pull up on you. They can react quicker than you. They can kill you before you really have a time to react, and that's a big problem. In fact, I'm going to pull up an SMG chart to show the time to kill difference between the M4 and the SMGs up close. And as you can see, it's pretty reasonable. That's way different than the Kilo and the Grau, which is here on this chart. And as you can see, the M4 is better than those two. Now, in this gameplay, I end up using the AMAX a lot. And the AMAX is a gun I really want to touch on because I think it's a direct competitor to the M4. But overall, I think if you're pairing the M4 with an SMG, a close range SMG in particular, one built for, I'd say, hip firing and strafing, the Cold War MP5 or the MAC-10 or the Modern Warfare MP5, you're gonna be sitting good. And I think that's a really meta class right now. And I think if you want to play pretty aggressively, you want to push, you want to get a lot of kills, you want to get up in people's faces, you want to have a good backup AR that can compete in the close range. If you get someone weak or you need to just finish someone off, the M4 is, I think, that gun. Now, I think the AMAX, if you really, really want to avoid long-range combat and you look at the circle and you genuinely feel that there's going to be no combat between 80 and 100 meters, there's no snipers to worry about, then honestly, go the AMAX over the M4. The AMAX is just straight up better in the mid-range and close range. And on the flip side, if you look at the circle and you think it's going to be a lot of sniping, there's going to be a lot of distance, you're going to want to have something that's just a little extra range, then drop the M4, run a sniper, run it with the Cold War MP5, something like that. And another class that I've really been liking is the M4 and the AS Val. And I know that sounds crazy. I know some people don't like running 2 ARs, but if you do, try it. The AS Val is killer. I mean, killer in close range. The M4 is good in long ranges and mid ranges, and the M4 can help. If you just tag someone with the AS Val, it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to get them weak. The M4 will finish them off. I guarantee you. It's a good setup. I think it's better than an AS Val sniper in trios, quads, and all that. And I think it might even be better than an M4 and an MP5 or something. But that's debatable. Overall, if you're looking at this gun, just keep in mind, though, you're going to be weak in the close range, and you're going to have to make up for that in some ways. You have to account for that. You can't just expect to win every gunfight up close. It's going to take preparation. If you're caught off guard, if they get the first shot, you're going to lose. I mean, there's just no ands, ifs, buts about it. That's what's going to happen. Now, later this week, guys, I want to make an AMAX video, an RPD video, and a coaching video. Hopefully I can get it done. I just got my new PC put together. That's why I didn't have videos up for a couple days. Just had a little bit of issues with that. And my CPU cooler and whatnot. I'm going to be getting a streaming here really soon. Ordered the Elgato. Going to get it in. Going to get up and running. Going to be streaming on YouTube. I'm not sure the exact times right now, but I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Both under I Am Ryan. This game is going to end in a little bit of a weird way because I have the specialist bonus, and you're going to see it's not going to proc. I'm not sure if there's a perk in Warzone that makes it so your like blind eye 6th sense perk doesn't proc, because someone was looking at me and it did not tell me where they were looking at me from or that I was being looked at, and it kind of messed with me because I had the specialist bonus. So I was playing as if it was something that I was very conscious and aware of. But at the same time, it's a niche situation. Even if it was a bug or it was a perk, doesn't matter too much to me. Something I probably should be aware of in the future. In this next coaching series, I'm not sure. I got to get better views on it. Not that it actually matters how many views the coaching series gets, but I do want more people watching it. I do really want to focus on movement in the next one, like in combat movement. Out of combat movement's different, but important. But in combat movement is honestly half of combat, maybe 75% of it, and it's so hard. There's not a lot of good guides on it. I want to really help people with it. I want to make sure that people like really understand how to move in combat, what to do, and how to build the habits on how to do it. So I hope to get to that. You're going to see what I mean right here. This video is going to come to an end. This bug cost me my win. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe, but if you do, thank you. Peace.